okay, maybe this isn't my favorite stadium, or maybe it is, and then you just disregard it while you're playing because you're so locked in.
You get so locked into the game. You know these players genuinely could not care where they're playing. It's all about the ball and their competitors. As we've got Legacy in the blue. We've got Area Eternity in the orange. A best of 5 to send one of these teams through to next weekend. And Davin's going to try and start us off right off the gate. Gets blocked by Unbroken. Now Wells going for the slow play in the midfield, faking like he's got boost. He doesn't actually have any, but he gets the fake on 2 of them now. A demolition on Unbroken behind him. He'll get the boost out of the corner, but won't be able to do anything with the ball. So he lost control. Sub hauls up to try and make the play. Now to the corner. We'll see a challenge from Unbroken set up in front of the box and cleared away. Legacy going to handle this well on defense.
Oh, and you can already tell Area Eternity are infiltrating those corners very, very well. And they're just tossing that ball into the corner, letting it bounce off into the midfield. And that's what works for them in the reverse sweep, is getting it dished out. Now, it does seem like the Legacy defense is holding up a lot stronger than Carnage Gaming were against Area Eternity, but they need to keep this up because it'll get whittled down to the point where they don't have any boost. They can't get that shot. So boost consumption and boost efficiency when you're dealing with that corner play is huge for Legacy.
3:50 on the clock. First minute going to come and go. Any goals? Now another infield pass. This one blocked by Unbroken. Sub hauls up on the wall. Gets handled by Lost. Ready off the wall. Over to Davin. Onto the backboard.
Oh, no way.
Lost rotating in underneath. Unbroken. A savior medal already in the first minute and a half of the game. It's ready out of the box. Onto the side wall. Pass in the midfield to Davin. Pass comes back down to Reddy. Doesn't have just enough boost, though, to reach this ball. And it'll stay in the back third. Here's Lost going to try and put in the first goal. Killed by Sub Halls and picked up on his hood. He's going to try and dribble this one out of his back third.
Wave, I don't know if you've noticed this, but it seems like the South American play style, they use the walls so much more than any other team in any other region. They'll smack it against the midfield wall, and that's obviously a routine play for a lot of teams in any region, but it seems like in South America, it's so dominant to bang the ball right off the wall, it bounces into the midfield, and then they can go off of that hit.
They have been playing, using the wall as the fourth player on your team to pass to yourself. Ready,
really fun to watch.
Pass to Lost. Ooh, nice infield pass here. Unbroken. Gonna try and follow this one. Oh, what a cover up. And now a shot from Reddy. Beaten by Sub in the midfield. Lost off the wall. Wells picks this up, just sends it to the far post. Is it enough? It is. That'll be the first goal of the game.
I'm looking for the rotation right now. Something broke here. You can see Lost. If he didn't get the hit he wanted, you ideally want to pinch that instead of just tossing it right out. And the worst player that could go to is Wells, who's going to hit that 90% of the time, like I said. A absolute talent on the roster of Area Eternity. He's going to hit that shot almost every time. You want to go for a pinch. Seems like Legacy didn't get the hit they wanted to, and now Area Eternity starting off strong.
There's Sub Halls. The attempt. Legacy trying to rally back, tie up the game. As Wells takes it long. Lost off the wall. Lots of control here. He dismounted from the ceiling with a jump, so he will lose his flip. But Unbroken. And win that challenge in the corner. Davin now to the air again. Hopefully trying to connect with teammates in the midfield, but lost control, and now the pass is coming through from Area Eternity. Here's a shot from Wells, and Davin couldn't quite get there. Wells puts in his second goal.
I mentioned boost efficiency a few moments ago, and Reddy right now in net has no boost. He didn't even go out to get any pads, and it's because they're just smacking it against the wall. He can't go out. He doesn't have any real timing of when to go out for a challenge. No boost. It goes right over his head. A free goal for Area Eternity.
And now Wells looking for a third one. Can he get the hat trick here? Unbroken to the corner and back in front of the box. Wells reached for it. This time beaten by the defense, and Reddy with a flick over one. Now 1v1 on the backside. He's going to get it around Unbroken, but couldn't get it into the goal. And now Unbroken going to emerge with ball control after it bounces off the wall. This will go all the way back to the Legacy back third again. Lost out to Reddy. Unbroken. Sending high, Lost towards the goal, and Wells will get the save off to the side. Davin with the trap. Sub Halls. Flicks along the wall, wins the challenge in midfield, Lost with an infield pass, but it's straight to Wells, sends it on target, Reddy gets the cover up, and Wells will get demolished. Or no, Wells gets the demolition onto Lost, and then the harassment in the midfield is Unbroken. Will try to take control. He's going to use all his boost just to get this ball across the midfield line, and Lost picks it up. Not the cleanest of plays, but at this point, you're up by 2. Area Eternity don't really need anything else. They just need the clock to hit 0.
Yeah, you just need to stall some time right here, and they're doing a great job. I like how they're continuing with their passing, too. You'll notice a lot of teams will just try to go for solo plays in the final seconds, but they're still finding each other. The vision is there, and that's how you know this team has a lot of composure. So I like what I'm seeing from them. Area Eternity just looks so dominant with their opportunities and also the way they're controlling the field.
Lost. And they attempt to dribble it out. 18 seconds left for Legacy to get on the board. And really, I mean, it's like 12 seconds left. They've got to get on the board and with enough time to get the ball back in the air after kickoff. Ready on the pass down to Lost. Need to score right now. That touch wasn't good, and they're not going to get another one. It's going to expire here with Area Eternity continuing to build on the momentum of their previous series. They'll take this one 2-0.
Yeah, and there were good moments, I think, for both teams. I don't think this is something that Legacy will look at and say, oh, we got destroyed. You know, there were definitely opportunities, a couple of good dribbles from Reddy specifically, but I really think it comes down to that boost, if you're picking up pads or not, because Area Eternity, they're rushing into your corners, trying to take all your boost, then they'll bounce it off that corner. Then you have to go for a hit, because if you're not challenging after the bounce in the corner, you're just letting them have a free shot. You're wasting all that boost. Area Eternity are basically just starving you out, and you'd never have time to get on offense. So you need to pick up boost pads and try to control that aspect of the game if you're Legacy.
Yeah, Legacy definitely with a little bit of it didn't, I agree with you, it didn't feel like there was any large mistake. Boost management definitely something they need to keep an eye on moving forward, but the lack of offensive productivity, running into the wall of Unbroken too. He got 4 saves here and was the MVP for his team, despite Wells scoring both those goals and getting the 200 points for himself. So we'll see how things go as we get into game number 2. But I like the passing play we're seeing from people, and the fact you brought up the use of the midfield wall as kind of that fourth teammate to pass to. It's a great tool. It's a great tool that they can use because it opens up the opportunity to pass to a player or to pass to themselves. It's just one more thing for the defenders to read.
Yeah, and my favorite part about that is these teams and their players specifically are always prepared for it. It's almost like they have it down to a routine where, okay, I'm hitting this off the wall. It's going to bounce back in the middle. You can go then for a better play. And I get reminded of G2's play style. They use that wall so much where they'll bang it into the midfield off that wall. If it gets a good bounce, you're setting up probably one of the best opportunities you can ask for.
As we get game number 2 underway, we've got eRa up by 1. Legacy looking to bounce back. Sub retreats on defense. A nice pinch out to Wells. Takes it all the way to the corner. Reddy gets it off of his hood before being demolished. Now Sub going to be trying to take this one into a beaten up defense. They've bruised him up and managed to muzzle it through. No! Lost gets back and makes the save off the inside wall. And now Unbroken going to try and keep this pressure on, but an excellent stop. Legacy able to thwart the first goal.
Yeah, I mean, Subhalls kept boosting to stay behind the ball, and there were just 2 players of Area Eternity right behind that shot. Legacy didn't even know how to deal with it. Somehow, they managed to get that save. We're still tied up, 4 minutes left, but we've already had some high-flying action here, Wade.
Got Davin off to the side. He takes the air again, high-flying indeed. Unbroken. He lofted it, and Lost will fall. This one, 2 misses on the backboard. No one should be home at the goal. Reddy manages to push it upper 90 despite them trying to get back in time. And finally, Legacy on the board.
Oh, that's a hit that one of those 2 players need to touch. I think Wells actually backed off because he saw Subhalls go up for it. So he's like, you know what, I'm going to go down. And it just bounced off the wall, and Reddy, what a strike. That is the best shot you could ask for when it comes down to accuracy. Hitting the corner down, I mean, that looks so clean.
Give the defense no time to read. Either they're there or they're not. Subhalls, though, absolutely blast one from the midfield. Reddy will cover it up. And now look for a counterattack. He finds Lost in enemy territory. Comes around the corner, kills the ball a little bit. Wells has the read. Now Reddy. Another shot from the midfield. Lost with the loft. Davin not able to find a shot, and Subhalls will clear. Here's Wells up to challenge. Gets it underneath 1. Going to continue after it. Davin kind of caught in the box, but he'll get the touch. Play it away, and now we'll see Unbroken dribble it over 1. Davin challenges him, makes him lose control, and now the ball's going to bounce multiple times without anybody touching it. Everybody going for the Uber mind games.
Yeah. Seems like there's a lot more slow plays, too, between these teams. A lot more dribbles in the midfield. Not seeing as many corner hits, but more plays where you're trying to control the pace a bit more, and that's from Legacy and Air Eternity. So I'm interested to see how these solo plays will develop. We haven't seen a solid flick out of any specific player, but maybe that's coming in the later of the series.
Especially as we get into next weekend, and the best of the best start to go head-to-head.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Wells towards the goal. Sub's got to move back on the massive clear from Legacy. We'll try to take control of this one. Lost has him red and keeps the ball in the corner. Won't be able to reach that one as he's out of boost, falls back for it. Davin and Reddy will try to keep the offense going. Reddy with a miss, just complete air ball. Now Sub with the attempt. Wells looking to make it through. Here's Davin trying to set up Reddy, misses both touches. Unbroken will take it to midfield. He's got Sub behind him, off the wall. Wells up for it to try and tie the game. Not able to get it on target. Sub puts more pressure in. Wells with a soft touch sets it up. Sub's got enough boost to reach this, but the ball just glues itself to the backboard. Going to be so difficult to tuck it underneath. There's underneath one. Unbroken look for the double tap. Davin gets in the way. Wells can't reach it either. Leaves just Sub on the ground, and he's still just got to kind of play positional ball. Keep it away from him. But they all went for boost in the corner. He gets the bump on one. And the last not going to be able to get there. Unbroken ties the game.
I was just about to compliment Legacy's defensive stance right here, where they were able to stop so much pressure, but then the boost game just ends up breaking them down. They can't get a touch. Multiple people looking for some boost, and also in the net, you don't have what it takes to get up in time. Legacy, they finally fall, but that defense was looking good.
It was looking good, and then the exact issue you brought up in between games 1 and 2, their boost management comes back to bite them. This time, it's not the lack of looking for it, but actually the over-aggressive looking for it at the same time.
Just need to go for those pads. I mean, it's so crucial that you build those rotations around the pads, and it's even harder whenever the pressure of Air Eternity is so brutal in your own half. You don't even have time to get out and look for pads.
There's Davin. No boost in his tank. He'll manage to steal it out of the corner. With 1 minute remaining, Sub to the edge. Reached for another one. Not going to happen. Lost. We'll try to keep this pressure on with 50 seconds left. We're tied up at 1 apiece. Again, Legacy, after dropping game number 1, they would love to bounce back here. And again, it's a best of 5. Don't want to have to reverse sweep. Wells misses off the wall. Unbroken. Pick this up. Takes the slow play. Flicks over Reddy. Lost is up and gets it off to the side. You can hear the pressure coming down behind him. It was Wells. A shot onto the backboard. Reddy's got it clear. Sub closes the gap. This one just barely. Oh my goodness, Davin gets the save. It looked like it might have been wide, but no, it was in, and good for Davin for following that one all the way through. Sub now off the ceiling. Looking for the infield pass. Lost with a block. 13 seconds left. Wells just sends it to the goal. Davin plays it away at the front of the box. Now the pinch off. This one dangerous. Lost and already both went for it. They got the save on it. And now the clear back the other way. We'll see Unbroken kill this one. Overtime in game 2, Turtle.
Yeah, and you can tell that Air Eternity have so much possession. There were so many shots that Legacy had to get in front of. I'm surprised they managed to deal with it because, you know, that one that just went off the post, it was going in so close. The clutch save, excuse me. But in overtime, you have a second to reset, get a better play style going against Air Eternity, and hopefully get some more opportunities.
Here comes Air Eternity. Off the wall, Unbroken pinches it to himself. 2 commit on defense. Wells wants to crash in and take this from Davin, but Davin slows it down, and that slowdown is so important because it gives the 2 teammates a double committed time to separate from each other, maybe go get a boost in the corner, not immediately have that pressure on, keeps them from panicking. Lost through the air. Davin onto the edge. Wells following this one. Legacy will get it first. Up to Lost. Trying. He's going to need one more touch to get it to the goal. Off the backboard. Nobody there for the follow-up. And the clear comes through from Wells. Ready now. Off the side wall. Unbroken to the edge. Now Lost trying to get it to Davin. It gets a nice touch to Davin, but it was straight to him. Davin wasn't able to put power behind his shot. Now Ready over 1. Takes it over to Lost. Crosses the goal.
We're seeing a couple of good opportunities right now for Legacy. Somewhere the third man should come in, but it's difficult, like I said, whenever that third man does push all the way back. Like in this situation, one gets demoed. Lost now has to go in, but they've lost that third man striker. They just want to waste time, but they can't even do that. And all 3 players are rushing back to figure something out. Another demo from Davin. That could be a good look as that one goes over. Subhauls This slipped in, and it was all thanks to that demo.
The demo and then the harassment on the rest of the back line put too much pressure on Sub, who was not in position to deal with that one. Yeah, the harassment play paves the way. The goal goes through. Legacy will rally back, tie up the series.
I think that might be one of the few moments that I've seen where one player in their rotation in the opponent's half makes all three of them jump or get out of position. You can see Davin, he ran all the way across the net. He demoed one player, and then he made the other two goalkeepers have to jump over him. So the final shot, if it's just accurate, it's a free goal.
They put it in. Legacy, like you said, like absolutely just paves the way. As long as it's accurate, they get that one through. And it was all up to Reddy. Reddy scoring both the goals here. And what a way to bounce back after not getting anything in game number 1. Legacy tying up the series, 6 shots to do it, and holding off the 13 shots that eRa Eternity managed to put up in that game. So much offensive productivity from eRa.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, I thought eRa Eternity were for sure going to take that game, especially with all that pressure. But then Legacy, like I said, in overtime, if you can just reset how you're approaching the series, and you could tell they did, that once they got on offense, much better opportunities. They were getting a little bit aggressive with the demos. We'll see if that repeats here in this next game. But eRa Eternity, I wouldn't even change much. Honestly, you just need to have a couple of better striking with better accuracy, and I think you should be set, because that pressure eventually is going to break down the Legacy defense, and we've even seen that happen.
As we get into game number 3, it's tied up at 1 apiece in the series. Winner of this game will take match point, and a nice early pressure. Dump it into the box. Davin will score it.
And it's lost. What a touch there to get it to Wells, but it wasn't the best clear, and he dunked Wells so hard in that corner where it just popped out. Davin's in position, and Legacy start off strong.
4:48. Just 12 seconds into the game. Legacy's got it on the board. After a well-fought overtime win, they're looking to build on that momentum.
Yeah, they're warmed up.
We were talking about momentum being on eRa Eternity's side coming into the match, given the reverse sweep, but they're going to try and continue to hold on to what they've got. A nice goal there from Wells. Could have possibly kept momentum very well on their side. Now here goes Wells again. Through the air, 29 boost left. Unbroken's up for it. Sends it to the goal. Blocked by 2. Off to the edge, Reddy will follow it and connect with Davin. Gets blocked at the point of contact, and now back into the box. Reddy's got to make the stop and gets it away off to the edge. Davin will extend that one into enemy territory.
And it seems like Legacy might actually be focusing on Wells in his position, because I've noticed every time Wells does go for hit, somebody from Legacy is always there to get a touch, which is a necessity if you're going up against eRa Eternity. I mean, we saw previously in that reverse sweep how much of an impact Wells had. They're always getting in front of him. You even see there, they're not letting him create opportunities. Now Davin can go for this, almost a double tap. What a setup, but Wells gets the save.
Wells jumps in the way. Absolute diving save on what was a perfectly set up offensive play. Keep it at just 1 apiece. Sub through 1. Ready with a response. Now back up. Sub moved out of the cherry pick. Lost will try and get 2 touches onto this one to take control. And now dribbling. Still got 30% boost. A soft touch from Unbroken. Davin's got the response ready. Not quite able to pick it up. Got intercepted. A Sub. Now Sub going to be up for the shot on this one. Back to the corner. Lots of slow positional play. Nice infield pass. Excellent block. Davin jumps in the way. And once more with the reads, the defense have been strong on both sides, Turtle.
I think that might be the second time Davin in the last 30 seconds got in front of that final shot. He dunked whoever was trying to dribble earlier, and then also gets in front of that shot. So huge defensive performance from Davin. And Legacy, they've kicked it up a gear. This is so much better from them on defense. They're getting a lot more boost. You even see Lost here, pick up that midfield boost, and they are controlling the field much more efficiently.
Here at halftime, Unbroken wide of the corner. Davin to follow this one. Sub gets second touch on him. Not oftentimes you see second touch that high on the field. Now back in front. Wells with an empty net to shoot out. Well, not totally empty, but caught the goalie with his pants down and just had to dive it where he thought it was going to be. Tie game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Fireburner 50-50 right there if I've ever seen one. From the corner, dished out to Wells. It looks like a pass. When you go for a challenge and it just slots out like that, oh, it's so nice. And that was really well executed from Unbroken to get that one out to Wells.
They tied the game back up. Dead even in the series right now. Davin going to use all his boost, just get this ball barely across the midfield line and then lose control. It'll be Sub to to pick up control, and he's got Unbroken moving up behind him. Sub onto the backboard, and just straight in. Sub will take the lead right back for eRa.
I don't even think the defender knew what was happening. I'm looking at Davin. He sees two players go up, a double commit. Subballs takes one out in the air as well because he was so fast. He got the final touch over him, then gets the demo. And you see Davin is just sitting there like, dude, there's nothing I can do. This is it. This is over for us.
It was. And now the lead back for eRa Eternity. Ray takes it off to the side. We're looking for the equalizer. Wells back down through two. Looks for a goalie now. Davin backs off. Smart play. He was able to see where the other players were and knew there wasn't an immediate threat of a shot. Didn't need to dive for that. Well, what a skip off of Sub's roof to send that one all the way to the corner. Ready's gonna try and follow this one. Unbroken gets it a bit of them, but Davin, what pressure, and Wells, just beautiful positioning from the third man role here, despite a crazy fast developing play, still manages to get the block.
Yeah, that was something that we talk about a lot, is the timing of your rotation. Wells was coming in with all the momentum. He was going supersonic, and he didn't have to stop at all. He got the hit, a solid clear, and he's been in position every single time, not only on offense, but also on defense. Wells, very stellar performance. Even got a couple of saves earlier on to keep eRa Eternity in the lead here. Huge from him, but there's still 1 minute and 5 seconds left. Legacy have had a couple of opportunities. They just need to strike on one.
1 minute remaining. Wells having to play this one onto his own backboard. Very few other options here. I think he was out of boost. He'll pick up his own corner pad, and here comes the rest of the team. Unbroken connects with Wells to transition this one down. 2 touches from one end zone to the other. A nice counter touch from Sub to keep that one in the box. Davin plays it over the top of one, but nobody around the ball for a bit means Reddy's got a free clear. And now Lost wanted to get past 2, but Reddy not able to read the ball off the corner. Now Lost looking for Davin. It's on target and in. Tie game. Quick turn back around on the half rotation, and we're all tied up.
Yeah, Davin is going for the corner boost while Lost sees him, snipes him out of the corner, and says, hey, turn around in rotation. I got you with a free shot. That pass was led beautifully, and they tie this one up. 28 seconds left. Legacy, I've been waiting for it. They had so much better passing. This game alone, their possession has been so much stronger. I think this is their time to get back in the series and take charge.
Reddy is demolished in the midfield. You've got to look out for Wells. We might be going to overtime again here, but it was so close to being an eRa Eternity game last time around. Can they finish it off here in regulation? 4 seconds left. Sub hauls up and drops onto the ground. This one's lost so much momentum. It's going to be difficult for the ball to keep up its pace, but Lost gets the shot on. Unbroken with a save. Off to the edge. Reddy will trap it.
Still up.
He's got 60 boost. Flicks one. Killed by Wells. And this one will finally touch overtime. 2 games in a row.
Yeah, and this is probably benefiting eRa Eternity. I mean, the last game was benefiting Legacy because they could reset after all that pressure, but now it was Legacy going into overtime who had the pressure. eRa Eternity needed to reset their frame of mind as that one almost slipped in from Lost. And still the pressure from them, the midfield is so much stronger. They're keeping the midfield boost and maintaining that rotation, but this was a huge clear from Wells. This could start something.
He'll go for the boost play. And rotate out, kind of covered up Sub there, but Sub manages to still get it. Looks for the bump on Davin. Wells already airborne for it. Off the top, where is the last teammate? Oh, what a shot and a save. Lost gets in the way of Unbroken's play. The brilliant setup again. We keep seeing this happen time and time from both these teams. The excellent offensive positioning, the development, and then an accurate shot beaten by a single defender.
Yeah, and that all happened so fast for Lost. I think it must have been a pre-jump because that looked like it was in the top corner. I don't know how Lost got a touch on it, but what an incredible save. Keeping him alive, and Davin, so smart on every play. Every time I see him go for the ball, I got to give credit to his decision-making. It has been on point, knowing when to go for a 50 or when to go up for the ball.
Unbroken towards the goal already. He's got a block. A follow-up shot from Wells gets beaten by Lost. Defense continues to stand strong for Legacy, and now they'll look for a counterattack. They won the last overtime. Can they make it 2 in a row? Reddy out of his corner now. Meets Unbroken. Ball gets killed. Beats a second player, and Davin gets it behind Sub. The entire team beaten in the opponent's front third. They've got to retreat and play defense. Sub will use all of his boost just to keep that ball in the air. Now over to Davin. This one high. Unbroken. Off the edge. Reddy through one. Unbroken with a long clear. Davin was in a great position to read this. They use all his boost to get it to the corner. Wells with a quick touch back. Neither team really willing to commit onto offense just yet.
Yeah.
Looking for an opening.
Seems like we've kind of come into a weird stalemate where both teams don't want to be aggressive, and that's something that's so frequent in overtime. I feel like once you get past the 2-minute mark here, that's when teams start to shy away from being aggressive, and you usually get those really long games where it goes to 7-8 minutes plus. But still, Air Eternity a bit more on the defensive side. They've had solid looks on offense. That's a big clear from Wells, but you're noticing that Air Eternity, they get a lot of these big clears where previously a teammate would be ready for it, but now they're just booming it to nobody. There's not a teammate there to receive, and it just gives it right back to Legacy.
Stub over 1. Looks for the flick, but lost. It's just enough of a pre-jump on it to block. Now ready. Onto the wall. Wells tries to read this, but misses. Unbroken. To the edge now is Sub. Sends it to the blue corner. Lost to be the first one to pick it up. Keeps it away from the wall. Unbroken. Puts this one towards the net. Davin's got to get a save, and he'll earn himself a savior medal here in overtime. 3 minutes in. We're still playing.
Yeah. And I mean, this is where the teams, like I said, will just start rotating to the net a bit more and trying to be passive. Air Eternity, I just want to see them find their teammates a bit more, which is something Legacy do really well. They need a little bit better vision on the offensive side. They have some solid solo plays, but nothing else like we saw in game 1.
324 ready. Over the top of 1. Here comes Lost. The goal's still open. But Unbroken will come out of the corner, cover it up. Wells on the ground, up against Lost. Gets it lofted straight up. Davin not quite able. He takes his time sizing up this touch. Recognized that nobody was there. Davin has had great field recognition of where the opponents are this entire series, but here comes Wells now into the corner, looks for a second one, ready, covers him up. There's Lost, gets beaten by Stub. Davin on the backboard, just trying to cover up anything he can, falls down, doesn't make contact. Off to 1. Oh, Lost comes in, beats Wells right as he takes the shot. Stub now through the air once more. 4 minutes into overtime. The pressure building here for Air Eternity, but they have yet to crack this defense.
Oh, and that was a big play from Lost. He's now coming back from off the backboard. That could have been the end for Legacy in this overtime. But I was about to say Lost, his decision-making to stay patient and wait for the ball to bounce. He knows where the other team is, and that's something that all of Legacy, especially Davin, have been doing so well, is knowing when to go for the challenge or when to be patient. And that's huge in overtimes like this.
It will be coming down to which team makes the first mistake at this point. Both have decided to play safe ball and wait for the whiff that they can capitalize on.
I mean, it's just massive clear after massive clear. That's a dunk, though, from Lost. It's cleared away from Wells. That play could have sparked something.
Oh, they're trying now. We did just see Air Eternity commit a decent amount to offense. And there another play. At least the two-man offense is starting to strengthen up. There's a touch to the above the crossbar. Davin doesn't, he gets just enough in the way of it to block a follow-up shot. Unbroken onto the backboard and in front of the goal. Sub tries to make the play, but continues to be met right at the point that he wants to take the shot. Unbroken onto the wall. Ready, lofts, flies. Flip reset, not able to use it. Sub taking it the other way. Runs into Davin again. Off to the outside, here's Sub. Up against Lost, pinched in front of the box. Davin will pinch it off. His teammate ready. Get us back into the orange. 5 minutes, 42 seconds in. Already played an extra game of Rocket League here in Game 3, and this is just for match point. Both these teams so desperately wanting to make it to next weekend.
Well, if there's a time to go for a demo, this is it. I mean, both teams so passive. There's always somebody to rotate into the net if you're going for a corner boost of the opponent. As that one slips away, this could be it. Finally, Unbroken breaks the defense off of a solid pass from Subballs, and Davin just barely got a slight touch. We need more out of that hit.
Yeah, it sucks to be Davin right now, and for us to look at him and say, I know you played some of the best Rocket League of your life there. I know you carried this team through 6 minutes of overtime, but I need more from you in that moment, right? That one touch, just quite not enough. The harassment on to the other defender as well can help pave the way. Both overtimes defined by goalies getting pushed out of the way or being put to their limit.
Well, and Davin did get the save, so it's weird because we look at him when we say he could have gotten a pinch there, something more. But I think he thought a teammate was going to come in and maybe on the rotation get a solid hit to clear it out. And look at all the attempts that we saw on net. It was a lot of air dribbles like this where it go over one, solo plays, massive clears, and they weren't trying to find those small passes. Besides maybe that one play, I didn't see much other than that one hit. And that was just such a crazy overtime. I knew it was going to be long. You could tell once they started playing passive way, we were locked in for what, 5-6 minutes?
Yeah. No, it is true in overtime. It's like once it gets past the 2-minute mark or like the 1.5-minute mark, you're probably going to see the game end more around 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it does slow down, and then both teams are going to be like, okay, come on, we got to end this game. Let's start going for some stuff here. But as we go into game 4, that is eRa Eternity on match point right now. And man, this has been a back and forth. I have loved watching Davin. It reminds me of Turbo Pulsa, someone who is not doing necessarily flashy plays, but is always in the right spot to make his team clean.
And that reminds me a little bit of Wells. I think Wells actually might have the mechanics edged out in terms of the 1v1 when you're comparing them. But then Davin, a little bit smarter, though, on the plays. And that's why he's so fun to watch because, you know, he might not be super flashy, but if you can recognize what he's doing, like even in this situation, he's taking it to the corner. He's so slow. He might not win the challenge, but he set up lost to get a much better clear. And that's all because Davin decided to be patient in the corner and keep it close.
Oh, Davin trying to get stylish on the offense. Here comes Wells, lost with the stop. Now up. Wells to the outside. Unbroken. Off the backboard. There's the touch into the midfield. Here's Sub. Up for it on what it was a strong play. I believe Davin got the stop again. Now going for an air dribble to the corner. He's out of boost. There wasn't a pod for him to take.
I don't know if you noticed, Wade. It's kind of quiet on the field right now. I feel like both teams just a little bit keeping that passive play style from overtime. I expected more demos, more aggression out of either teams coming in from an overtime. Normally, you're just like, you know what? Whatever, man. I'm just going to be super aggressive. I hate that overtime. I hate playing passive. But this is a team bump. As now Unbroken has a hit off the backboard. Davin can't make the read. What is going on right now?
I don't know. You know, we're in round 5 of a long day. These teams have played some brutal series, and this came out of a 6-minute overtime. There might be just a little bit of trying to catch your breath from
is that
both sides, and it's in from the midfield. Wells will score it 1-0, and eRa's got everything they need.
But this was a shot. He's so far out. I don't understand why he would even hit that towards the net, but I guess he saw both players out of position, and the rotation from Legacy just completely breaks down. And there's just silence on the field. I don't know how to explain it, but as I'm spectating this, it's like there's no demos. There's not a lot of big hits on the ball. They're just keeping it close, little slow 1v1 plays. And it's weirdly entertaining here, Wade.
It can only be, it's rarely a super wrong decision to just shoot the ball straight at the net. Like, there's only so bad of a decision that can be. Just always put it on target. Eventually they go in, and there Wells benefits from keeping them honest. Saying, hey, did you leave someone back? Oh, you didn't? Cool. Free goal for us. And now if they are able to hold us on for 2 minutes and 45 seconds, they're going through to the next day.
Yeah. I mean, we just went from talking about crazy mind game plays and slow positioning from Davin, finding each other on offense, the 6-minute overtime, to come in here and just have one hit from the midfield where it just lobs in. It wasn't even that powerful. And now a miss off the backboard. Legacy's defense is getting destroyed, and they're just basically getting embarrassed with these hits off the backboard.
Oh, I think Davin might be broken. I think that last overtime might have actually taken the last of his soul. We've seen a number of whiffs from a guy that has played impeccable defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
When those backboard overhead reads are really difficult, too, in those situations where if you have ball cam on and it goes off the backboard, 90% of the time, you're just like, dude, there's no way I'm hitting this ball. Davin was in those situations a couple of times now, and then, of course, he's going to get an unfortunate situation there, and just a big miss on a player who, you know, he wasn't making mistakes like you said, Wave, earlier on.
It is cruel that we expect so much of, like, oh my gosh, you couldn't make the read that literally 99% of Rocket League players never have made in their life. Come on, Davin, what's wrong with you? Are you not feeling well? But that's the level of play these guys are at. These are the best of the best, and they want to play in the top 8 in the playoffs next Friday. Davin's got to dig deep if he wants to get there with his team. Lost already, gonna have to back him up And maybe honestly, it is time for one of them to really step up. My eye's really going to be keenly here on Ready and Lost.
Yeah.
How do they step up? How do they go clutch when their team needs them?
Well, there's got to be a demo or something. There's multiple times. Even Ready here, he was rotating into the opponent's half. Davin now is in the half. There it is, the demo. I've been waiting for it. Hopefully it brings something. The teammate, there's some space down the midfield, and here's where they need to find some passes to each other.
Lost gonna lose control, but Ready picks it up on the bounce. Here he goes for another touch into the goal, covered up by the defense, taken away just enough. eRa Eternity holds on and keeps their 2-goal lead into the final minute. Legacy, they need a goal, and they need it quickly, so they have time to find an equalizer. Davin tries to get the change up on him, but no, sub not gonna fall for it. Now unbroken. 3-1 Wells. Booms it down the field, and the boomer ball, I keep an eye on it. We might start to see a lot of it here from eRa Eternity. They have no reason to hold on to control. Just force Legacy to fall back to their own third over and over again to pick up these clears.
Yeah, and that was another situation where the demo opened up space. We almost got a solid redirect on the clear. They're finding teammates. Legacy breaking out of their own half. Transition game is all there. Good control from Davin now as he's trying to make up for the earlier miss, but it's 20 seconds left. Is it too late? They've got opportunities, and now Davin, backflip. That could have been it.
It could have been, should have been a few different ways to Sunday, but none of it comes through. 9 seconds left, and that clear should probably do it. Lost gonna try and turn this one around on a dribble. Literally the last possible attempt, and it will expire there. In 4 games, eRa Eternity, they got the reverse sweep on Carnage. They got the brutal comeback after a 6-minute overtime against Legacy, and they will play in the playoffs.
And again, in game 4, excuse me, it's Wells popping off. He got both the goals here. While they weren't the prettiest thing, you know, it was a hit from midfield, and not the greatest response then after Davin missed off the backboard. They're still solid. He was in position the whole time. Solid striker. And Wells, I look to see him in the playoffs now starting to pop off, because this is a guy that you have to watch out for if you're anybody facing off against him on the field.
I mean, in a game where they're coming off of the back of a brutal 6-minute overtime, it's going to be the team that manages to capitalize on the mistakes the most. Both teams are going to make mistakes, but which team's able to capitalize the most there? And it was Wells finding the holes to get them the win. What a back and forth affair. eRa Eternity, what a roller coaster of a day they had as well. Starting off with a 3-0 and then bop, lose 2, go down 2 games, have a reverse sweep to get here, and then manage to beat Legacy. That is a testament of a strong, powerful, top-of-the-line team.
And I don't want to discredit Legacy. I mean, there were moments in this series where I thought Legacy, you know, in game 2, once they got some momentum, I thought they were going to be dominant in this series because eRa Eternity kind of looked flat, but then it was a nice response from eRa Eternity. They kept it close, started to find each other again more on the clears, and overall just a solid performance. And I'm excited to see them and how they perform in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, and hats off, F's in chat there for Davin's effort. He was wonderful. Yeah. The whole team put on such a good performance, but Davin will have to wait another major to try and make it to the playoffs. That concludes our gameplay for the day. To wrap things up and get us set up for next week, let's head back to Leaf in the Gang.